Alrighty. Okay. Now, let's learn how to use one of these. This is a potentiometer. And one of its great uses is that it has a dial up here, like a thing that you can turn, a knob, I guess. And you can get the knob and turn it all the way to the left or all the way to the right. And you can control your Arduino with it. So, how do we hook it up? I've already hooked it up here. One pin goes to ground, yeah, and the one all the way on the other side over here goes to 5 volts. You can see that on the diagram. One pin goes to ground, the one on the other side, one goes to ground, the one on the other side goes to 5 volts. The middle one goes to A0. It's very important that the middle one goes to A0. So it's probably easiest to plug in the middle one first to A0, and then the rest doesn't matter. But the middle one goes to A0. Now, to use it, the best example for this one is analog read serial. So go and open analog read serial. We'll make this bigger. What does this do? Well, it opens up the serial port, which means it's going to communicate to the computer. Yeah, it's going to communicate down this USB line to the computer. And that goes in the setup to say that we're going to communicate to the computer. And every single loop, so continually, over and over and over and over again, we read the value from A0. We're going to send it to the computer by doing serial.println sensor value. So this will send this thing to the computer, and it will show up on the computer. And then we wait just a little bit, 1 millisecond, so that we don't overload the Arduino and freak it out, because it's a timid little creature, and we want to be kind to it. So let's see what we get. Let's compile this and run it. Not compile, click the upload button. So we upload it and then we wait. While we're waiting, this analog read reads in the voltage at this pin. If I put this all the way to the left, it will read 0 volts because that's ground. And if I move it all the way to the right, it will read 5 volts because that is where the other pin is plugged in. If I do it halfway, it'll read 2.5 volts. Let's see the measurements that we get though. You'll need to click on this button at the top, the serial monitor button. Okay, so, oh, that's weird, 1023. Oh, where's that number coming from? And if I move all the way this way, I do get 0. So what happens is, although it reads 0 volts to 5 volts, analog read will give that as a number between 0 and 1023. There is a reason why it's 1023, but I'm not going to tell you. Ha! So 0 is the smallest and 1023 is the biggest. We can make a decision. We can turn a light on based on this. If 0 is the smallest and 1023 is the biggest, then what's halfway? Well, you get a calculator out. 1023 divided by 2 is about 512 or so. So I can say, if the sensor value is, the sensor value is more than 512, then do something. What should I do? Maybe I will turn pin 13 on. Pin 13 is this inbuilt LED here. So it'll turn it on if it's more than 512. All Arduinos are shipped so that pin 13, this one here, is the same as that LED. So if it's more than 512, it'll turn pin 13 high, which is on. Otherwise, let's turn it off. You need to have semicolons at the end of these lines, but not this one. Make sure that this guy has a friend there. They've got, each bracket has a friend. This bracket has a friend over here. This bracket has a friend over here. They've all got friends, which is great. All friends here. The other thing we need to do is it doesn't yet know that this is an output pin, that it's something to output to the world, that it's an LED, that we can turn on and off. To do that, we set the pin mode of pin 13 to be an output, which means we're going to send, show data to the world through a buzzer or a light or a screen or something. It is an output device. rather than an input device like this. I'll upload it again. The goal then is that we'll have a thing that if we turn it to the right, the light will turn on. And if we turn it to the left, the light will turn off. It's uploading. It should almost be done. Done uploading. Good. Remember, make sure you see done uploading. There's no point checking the program works if it's not yet done uploading. So right now I'm getting 1023. So the light should be on because 1023 is bigger than 512. And it is on. Yay. If I turn this to the left, well, left, right? I don't know. If I turn it this way, then it'll get smaller. At the moment, it's still on because I'm at 600 and something. But if I keep going, oops, wrong way. If I keep going, it turns off. Yay! So I can turn the light on and off with this magic party switch. Woo! Disco.